are brilliant bikepacking handlebars. They're called kitchen sink bars and they're by Redshift Sports, and I've been using the looped and no loop version for about 6 months now. This is what they're really like.
Quite a while ago I made this video, and while I loved almost everything about the bars, I had my doubts about that front loop. I've now removed that video in favour of this new review, because for the last few months I've been riding the no loop version to compare. Incidentally, I'm also using the Redshift Pro ShockStop Stem, the new version, so stick around if you want to learn whether the Pro version is worth having. I've used quite a few Redshift products. I previously reviewed the first generation of the ShockStop Stem, which has saved my wrists a lot of pain, and done a long-term review of the Redshift ShockStop seat post. Both these videos are linked below. On this channel we do a lot of adventure cycling videos, both on and off-road, much of it in glorious Scottish Highlands. Plus we have a series of bike basics for those new to riding, called Stuff Cyclists Don't Tell You. Take a look around the channel and subscribe. Okay, let's start with that loop.
In calling these kitchen sink bars, the implication is you can carry loads of kit on them. A big bag on the main bar, lights, charger, head unit, or smaller bag perhaps slung from or attached to this front loop. And loads of great endurance riders, way better than me, have used that setup and have won races and travelled far with these bars. People who head into the wilds for days carrying loads of kit, or who need extra space on their bars. For them, this loop version is perfect.
The trouble is, I don't do those rides, or carry all that stuff. 6 months ago I used these looped bars on a 3-day gravel route that went into a 3-day, mainly road route. I also did a couple of overnight trips too. All I needed up front was a single front bag. So I felt the loop was a waste that added weight, and I said so in the first review.
With all the bits and pieces, these bars weigh over 800 grams. That is double the weight of the bars I had on previously. And it's the only reason why I'm uncertain about keeping them.
I've been riding the no-loop version since July 2021, which Redshift Sports kindly sent me to compare. Again, they're 44cm bars. While that small loop of metal doesn't really make that much difference to overall weight, in my mind it does. We made 3 videos riding trails in northeast Scotland, and at no time did I feel I was lugging excess weight on my bike. There's also a video about the kit I carried if you're interested in that sort of thing. That spare bit of metal is gone. And yes, it is all in my head.
So as I said in the first review, you really have to think very carefully about the sort of riding you will do to decide whether or not you need this loop. And I'd recommend you do not get it just in case. That's probably the theme of this video, choose wisely.
2 sets of cruise control grips are made by Redshift for their bars. You could see the top set better when I was fitting them to the loop bar before they were covered by bar tape. I expected these ones to be the most useful. The bar end grips I thought would be redundant. I got that utterly the wrong way around.
So much so that I didn't bother refitting the top grips when I set up this loopless bar. But that is just my preference. I know some riders who love having the extra grip up here. They can be used for elbows and hang on to the loop for a different riding position if you've got it. I couldn't do that because I have quite a long body and the top tube of a gravel bike is usually shorter, and it all just felt a little bit too cramped. So I prefer the bars without the top grips. For me, the other cruise control grips mattered most, because the bar end grips are a revelation. Looking back at the videos, I'm often holding them as I ride, just another position. They fall exactly where I want my hands to be and are extremely comfortable. But they only do that on these bars because of their flare.
Flared bars are a feature of some bikepacking and gravel bikes, allowing wider bags up front and wider, more stable hand position. My wife likes the flared bars which came with our bikes. I felt the angle was too great and swapped them out.
The angle of flare on these is spot on for comfort, and it means the drop position is not as far as on a road bike. fact, I really don't feel dropped, just in a different, wider position. And that gives a little more control. Some riders, I understand, don't use these, but prefer the top grips. So, again, choose wisely.
The difference between standard and pro stem is between 24 and 58 grams.
Which is nothing really, even for me. The way you set it up, slightly different. But the biggest compliment I can give this is that I did not notice it. I didn't feel it. I didn't see it working. It performed just like a normal stem, except my wrists didn't hurt at the end of a long day. I wouldn't take this off. If you're thinking about getting a set of these bars, then the best advice I can give you is to think long and hard and be realistic about the sort of riding that you will do and get the bars that's right for that. As to whether or not you should go wider or narrower than your usual bars, which set of cruise control grips you need, perhaps both, well, that's a very personal choice, and you really need to try them before you can make it, as I discovered, and I know that's hard to do. One option might be to ask around on Facebook, see if there's any local cyclists who already have them and will let you have a go. But if this video has been helpful, it'd be fantastic if you'd give me a thumbs up, please. Maybe consider subscribing. I'll see you again next time. Bye.